Hi, welcome back to the next video snippet from Bedagiskwedawajokzeloumsen, A Dragon's Journey. Today we're going to read the first part of chapter 6. So, kick back, relax, and enjoy. The next morning the two worms, one with 4 legs and 2 wings, and the other with none of those superfluities, swam out of the sunken volcano's silent caldera and up to the surface of the North Atlantic. The sun shone in a nearly cloudless sky above the great, slowly rolling swells. The serpent took the lead and headed east, more or less, more interested in reaching out with its toothsome mouth to harass a school of small but equally sharply fanged hake, frighten a common skate so that it leapt out of the water to seemingly fly on its scaly wings, and finally bite down on, chew briefly, and then swallow a 6-foot-long halibut that must have weighed 600 pounds. Latin led the way, broke its fast, and looked back to see what Beda had noticed, that Beda had noticed all of this without slowing its progress through the waves. And the big serpent laughed. "What's funny, Latin?" the dragon asked, flying closer so that the two could converse. "It's pretty smooth sailing today, my winged friend," the sea serpent stated, a smirking smile slowly making its way across the monster's face. "The waves are much smaller today, Latin," Beda replied. "Did yesterday's storm pass us over last night?" The serpent's smirk exploded into an archipelago of laughter. Then it explained, "Did you like meeting ma wee briny bairns, dragon?" "Bairns?" Beda asked, a little mystified. "Bairns, that's what my Scots kin call their children," the basilisk explained. "There was no storm, my dear, land-loving Leviathan. When I met you at Rockall yesterday, I thought that you might be more impressed by my realm if the waves were beastly big and angry. I made them so," and it laughed again. "You probably remember that while the waves were great, briny behemoths, there was no rain or storm to accompany them. I put on a grand show for your benefit, I must say." Beda was taken aback, and hovered briefly in the air as it considered its new friend's jape. And then, remembering its feelings of awe and the power of the northern ocean and Latin's seeming disregard for the water's might, the dragon shook its scaly head, laughed at the clever hoax, and hurried to catch up. Having a friend like Latin would offer many opportunities for Beda to pay the serpent back. At that moment, and with that realization, Beda began planning Latin's just desserts, and immediately decided that they would be served cold. The dragon smiled a secret little grin in anticipation. The two swam and flew east for a few hours, and then veered slightly north when they sighted land. "The Isle of Lewis," the serpent cried out. "We'll pass the cliff with its light at its butt, with plenty of sea between us and the birds and the beach and the tower, and then it'll be a few hours more to Scotland. We'll pass the light at Cape Wrath with room to spare, in case the Ministry of Defence is shooting off its cannons or the conservationists are out counting the gannets and fulmars and puffins. The surfers won't be in the water at Thurso for another 40 miles, and by then we'll have turned north and past the Orkneys, headed for Shetland. Actually, I've arranged to meet some of our kin on a little island, Muckle Flugga." Beda laughed. "Muckle Flugga?" Leighton grinned in response and said, "Yes, it's just off the northeast tip of the larger island of Unst. But Muckle Flugga is closer to Rumblings, Hermaness, and the Noop. Its quiet and its isolation will allow us to celebrate your arrival with our kin." The dragon laughed again. "Well, come on, then, let's go." Latin took that as a challenge that it was intended to be, and just as it dove under the waves, the serpent yelled, "Catch me if you can, little dragon," and raced ahead.